Like, come on, my face looks like a disco ball all day, every day. This is the goal, okay? And this has been achieved from all the fat and the meat that I have been stuffing my face the past 2 years. Hey carnivores, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Bella the Steak and Butter Gal. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. And I hope you're celebrating World Carnivore Month to its fullest. If you're part of the SBGang, which if you are watching, hello babes. I hope you guys are doing the No Dairy January challenge successfully with me. Please comment down below how it's going so far. And if you're not a part of the SBGang, click the link in my description box and join us already. All the babes and the dudes in there are super cool, super knowledgeable, and the posts every minute are seriously insane. It's the only gang you need to join. Okay, so today's video, I held a little Q&A on my Instagram in my stories, and a lot of questions are rolling in. But one question really inspired me to just dedicate a full video to answering the question. So, what is it? New Zealand Nick 41 asked me, I get confused about what to eat in a day fundamentally. So, I want to just dedicate this video to the foods that I personally think are worth eating in this way of living, the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet way. So firstly, before I even start, I have to say that today is my 2-year anniversary. I started carnivore officially January 1st of 2019. And if you follow me long enough, you know that I was a vegan right before I went carnivore. So I jumped in the carnivore diet January 1st of 2019 as a New Year's gift to myself to just focus on healing, to just focus on getting healthier and happier. And it happened 2 years later. I feel so grateful of the journey that I have been through and of all the healing that has taken place within these 2 past years. I started off with no period, with so many cystic hormonal breakouts on my face, lots of deep red scars, pits, and new blemishes. I started off with no self-esteem. I was just super insecure of my appearance, which then translated to my personality. I was super shy, I was insecure, I didn't like to socialize, I couldn't even find myself to make eye contact with people because I wasn't happy with myself, and that rooted from diet. I was malnourished. My hair was shedding in the shower to the point where I felt like my hairline was receding. My skin was dry and flaky. My eczema was flaring up at night and I would be itching until I was bleeding. My psoriasis around my temples were so painful. It was hard for me to even focus in class if I moved my eyebrows or if I just moved my face, because it would tug at my psoriasis and it would hurt like hell. So all of these major issues that was really ruling my life are gone. They're healed, they're solved. And what has replaced it is seriously just good, clean energy, happiness, stable mood, better skin. Like, come on, my face looks like a disco ball all day, every day. This is the goal, okay? And this has been achieved from all the fat and the meat that I have been stuffing my face the past 2 years. So my skin is better, my hair is growing. Every week, I find that I have more baby hairs. You see these tiny little hairs? My eczema here, gone. Doesn't even flare up as long as I keep to what I know makes me feel the best. Now let's just get started with the foods that I find are the most gentle to digest, the best if you just want good energy. Firstly, beef, fatty beef. Now, I'm not even going to say other cuts of meat because fatty beef is seriously the only type of meat that you should be eating. And if you had to just choose one, I really urge you guys to just eat beef. There really is no reason to explore all of the different types of meats. I would only suggest that you explore pork, lamb, chicken, turkey if you're bored with just beef. Best types of beef, for me at least, ground beef, because it's so quick to cook, it's so easy to handle. You just take it out of the packaging, throw it in a pan, sear it up, and eat it. Add some water, turn it into ground beef soup. Also, it is best for people who need to be budget friendly. So, besides ground beef, steak, right? You can go with ribeye, you can go with New York strip. Honestly, explore the different types of steaks you can try. Of course, steaks are more expensive, but some cheaper alternatives, chuck steak. You can go for beef shank. You can try oxtail, which is great for broth and for soups. Whatever beef you like, eat that. The fattier, the better, just so it can keep you satiated and give you that much more energy. So I always like to say, eat more fat to feel better, to have more energy. But I would only urge you to reach for the fattier cuts of beef or to reach for an extra stick of butter only if your body craves for it. If you're feeling nauseous and sick of the fat, you don't have to force your body to eat more fat. But do focus on getting plenty of beef. I think it's okay to just live off fatty beef as your only food. That's fine. But I like to add in butter. So that's the second food that I eat most of besides beef. Butter. Butter sticks, or I add butter to my scrambled eggs, or I top butter on my steaks. Butter is the perfect food to pair with beef. Hence my name, Steak and Butter Gal. So my favorite types of butters, Kerrygold, always at the top of the list, and Organic Valley, cultured, unsalted. I eat my butter unsalted because I like the taste and because I don't need salt in my diet to feel amazing. A new favorite is the Fond of Foods German butter, which I tasted a couple nights ago in my What I Eat video. And of course, raw butter. Unpasteurized raw butter is honestly the best butter to go with, but of course it's so difficult to find. So instead, if you have Kerrygold, try Kerrygold, or try the Organic Valley, or try the German butter. If you're watching this video and you have different types of foods that you love to incorporate, comment down below. The comment section is always a great place for everyone to learn and exchange knowledge, advice, and tips. And I love reading what you guys have to say and your thoughts and your feedback. So definitely comment down below if I miss anything. Next, besides the beef and the butter, salmon. Now, salmon can be added with seafood, but honestly, after 2 years of eating, salmon is by far my favorite seafood to eat. So when I eat salmon, I always eat it raw, and I think I tend to prefer to eat it raw just because I find it the tastiest. But also, I love sashimi. So when I could get my hands on some quality raw fatty salmon, I will always eat it sashimi style, 100% raw. I find the best places to source raw salmon that is safe to eat raw, firstly, because again, eating any animal food raw is going to be a risk. So it's a risk that I'm willing to take, and I feel better and less worried when I make sure that the quality is excellent. So definitely try to go for wild caught seafood if you're going to be eating it raw. Honestly, if you're going to be eating seafood at all, try to make sure it's wild caught. Your local farmer's market, your local seafood market is the best bet to source wild caught fresh salmon that you can eat raw. I always like to check Whole Foods. They sometimes have really fatty and fresh wild caught salmon. Yes, it is flash frozen. It was frozen, but I don't mind it. It tastes good in my opinion, and I will go for it when I crave it. Sometimes Asian markets will have good raw fatty salmon, but 9 times out of 10, it is not wild caught. So if you want to make an exception, you're super craving it, and you see some great ones in the Asian market, why not? Just eat it. Obviously, if you don't like salmon, you can go for other types of seafood, such as sardines. Sardines are excellent. Canned, fresh, whatever type of sardines, as long as it's not filled with plant oils, sardines are a great option. Canned tuna, canned salmon, any canned fish is a great option, especially for on the go. Cod liver is excellent. You can eat scallops, raw or cooked. I love scallops raw, especially when it's super fresh. The only issue I have with scallops is when there is sand. Then I just get turned off and I'm like, okay, I don't want any more, because sometimes scallops will have so much sand in it that it's hard to eat. Those are the major seafood options that come to my mind, but if you want to explore, feel free exploring the seafood realm. But honestly, my biggest tip after 2 years, you don't have to make it fancy. Carnivore diet is not complicated. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You can keep it as simple as you desire. Meat, salt, water, Or meat, 0 salt if you feel best without it. Eggs, water. Or meat, butter, eggs, water. That's pretty much my diet right now, is just beef, butter, eggs, occasional salmon, and the liver. So the liver is the next major food group that I do want to touch on. Organs are definitely something to consider and incorporate once you are ready. Organs have nutrients, minerals, electrolytes that just can't be found in our beloved beef. It's definitely not in the butter or the eggs. So when we want to really hit all of those essential electrolytes, minerals, and vitamins, we need to consider eating organs. I'm never a fan of eating supplements. I'm never a fan of eating anything in a pill. So I always try to make sure I reach for fresh animal foods to hit everything my body needs. I eat beef liver the most just because it's easiest for me to find. I can find it at my New York City Whole Foods pretty much every single week, and I'll stock up on it. But I have tried veal liver and I have tried lamb liver. I must say the veal liver was very sweet. It was delicious. But beef liver is tolerable, and I eat it every other day, about 1 ounce when I have it. So here in Seattle, the past few days, I have not been able to find beef liver. So I have not been eating any organs lately. However, I don't find my energy or mood has decreased drastically. The only thing that is missing is that boost of energy the next day after I eat the raw liver. So that's something to play around with. If you eat raw liver, you just might also feel a huge boost in energy the very next morning and a really nice even complexion and glow in your skin. That's something that I find always happens whenever I incorporate raw liver consistently. So I would say for organs, if you can incorporate it once a week, just for added insurance that you're doing everything as best as you can and you're hitting all of the essentials that your body needs, once a week, liver is the best organ. But if you like heart, if you like kidney, try to incorporate organs once a week. That would be amazing as a first step. And no, you don't have to eat it raw. You can definitely sear it in butter, salt it, pepper it, season it just to make it easier for you to swallow. It doesn't have to be raw, but try not to cook the hell out of it. Otherwise, you might just kill all of those valuable nutrients. Next, eggs. Eggs are a must-have in the carnivore diet. Not only will they give you so much variety within just that one food, the egg can be boiled, it can be made into my egg pudding, it can be poached, it can be dropped as an egg flour in my egg drop soup, it can be fried, it can be scrambled. Eggs are truly a wonder for us carnivores. Here's a pro tip from me. If you find you're having trouble knowing whether or not you're truly full or if you still are hungry, use a boiled egg trick. So definitely keep ready in your fridge or in a bowl already boiled eggs. So whenever you finish your meal, right? And let's say 30-40 minutes later, you find you still are thinking about food, you still are maybe hungry, reach for the boiled eggs. If you find the boiled egg to be appetizing and tasty, then your body is probably still hungry for some more energy. Keep eating the boiled eggs until you're full. But let's say you eat one boiled egg and you're like, oh, that wasn't good at all. Then that's probably a sign that your body is just bored and it just wants to eat for entertainment. So a boiled egg is definitely a great trick to make sure that you're truly full and you're not just trying to munch on stuff because you're bored. I hope that makes sense. But eggs are definitely something to incorporate if you can tolerate it. Let's say you can't tolerate eggs. Just try eating the yolks. Cut out the whites and just eat the yolks. Or you can try to scramble the eggs, my delayed method. Separate the whites from the yolks. Cook the whites first and then add the yolks last. Or if you're lazy like me, just cook the eggs in the pan completely. Let it cook through and then scramble everything after a few minutes. So let's just summarize really quick. Oh, and by the way, if you're enjoying what you're watching, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, turn on the bell and notifications, and leave a comment, any comment. So let's summarize. Beef, eggs, butter, liver. That's it. Oh, and if you want more variety, seafood, and my favorite is salmon. So there you go. That's pretty much my whole diet in a nutshell, especially now without the dairy products. I used to be eating so much cheese of all types. I was going overboard trying all the cheeses, and I was really in love with yogurt. But now that it's out, we can focus on simplicity. So definitely focus on beef first, then add any extra fat that you crave with butter. If you can't tolerate butter and you can't find raw butter, try suet. It's basically beef fat trimmings. If you don't like suet, just focus on eating fatty cuts of meat, okay? If you find beef is boring, pork belly is excellent. It's so fatty, it has the meat, it's just an all-in-one food. If you're bored with butter and beef, add some salmon to add variety, to add that vitamin D, DHAs, omega-3s. And finally, do not forget to incorporate some organs once a week. And you can go all in with the eggs, as many eggs as you want, cook it any style you want. Eggs are kind of like an accessory for the carnivore diet for me, but it's like a crucial accessory, and it's a big accessory because I eat so many of it every single day. I eat 12 at least when I do incorporate eggs. It's like all in or nothing. That's actually my personality, which I'm sure you all know by now. Okay, so I think that's all for today's video. I only wanted to touch on those main foods that I truly have loved these past 2 years of being carnivore. I know that I've missed some of maybe your favorites. Comment down below. I may actually have to try it because I may not even have tried it before. But anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it helped refresh or renew, or even just helped you know what the basics are for the carnivore diet. For the next YouTube video, I will continue answering your questions that you guys ask on Instagram. So do follow me on Instagram if you would like to share your input or choose what topic I should film next. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. SBG out.